How would API-led connectivity work in my business? API-led connectivity is a critical element to closing the IT delivery gap. In a traditional point-to-point integration approach, one might wish to develop a web app to provide real-time order status and order history for sales teams to engage with customers. For this example, let's assume you have customer data in SAP and in Salesforce, inventory data in SAP, and order data in an e-commerce system. What might be commonly done at this point is that your IT team might aggregate customer data by wiring together customer data from both systems, with code. Then, the aggregated customer data is further combined with order data in the e-commerce system to produce both the order status and order history data, with more code. Now these two sources of data are hooked into a web app API which can be leveraged by the web app. This project might be considered a success. It was launched on time, on budget, and has the correct functionality. But then the sales team, who are often on the road, are demanding that this functionality be available on their mobile phones. So, the IT team is now tasked with building a mobile app. But the developers building the app aren't able to use any of the work that was done for previous projects. So they have to redo all the work, which in itself is not a great outcome. Even though the developers know this is likely a short-sighted approach, they justify it given the typically intense time pressures. If there are consultants involved, as is typical, the problem gets worse, as they have little incentive to think about the long term. Over time, changes become very expensive or near impossible to make. But as change is constant, agility is now made very difficult. As you can see below, the familiar spaghetti code pattern begins to take shape. With an API-led connectivity approach, however, when teams are tasked with building a new mobile app, there are now reusable assets to build from, created from systems and process APIs, eliminating all of the work needed to build them. Creating the mobile app, therefore, is a matter of plugging together the various systems. And it is now much easier to innovate and add new services, in this case, adding shipment status information, in much the same way order status and order history was accessed. This saves time, money, and resources and ensures projects can be completed more quickly. As you can see, API-led connectivity uses some of the principles of service-oriented architecture, but this approach is an evolution from so in the direction of self-service consumption of reusable assets. The API-led connectivity approach allows developers throughout the business to compose and recompose reusable services to build projects they deem necessary, rather than the top-down, heavyweight dictates of traditional SO approaches. The method in which these assets are used in an organization is as important to the API-led connectivity approach as the assets themselves.